Alright guys, just got back from a little expedition. Took the old Trek out. Got this thing for like $200 back in the day. And, you know, it does alright. Oh, in the Black Mountains overlooking Lake Mojave. And down in this canyon here is Burn Spring. But today what we're really gonna go after is this backpack. Just your regular desert day pack. What do I have in it? So I've had this thing for probably over 15 years now. It's a Camelbak, I believe the model's an Ambush Cordura fabric. This is a mil spec, so it's I'm assuming it's what they used in like probably Afghanistan and Iraq. The fabric on this stuff is incredibly durable. I mean, I've done overnight treks in this thing. I throw it on the ground, in the cactus. You know, it is still like just in pristine shape compared to the abuse that I've given it. The bladder is probably on its last leg. I've changed out the hose and mouthpiece on it. It's like a 100-ounce 3-liter bladder. Works good. The insulated sleeve's kind of nice. I mean, doesn't probably help that much, but it does have an on-off valve. And then mouthpiece, this isn't the original, this is some generic knockoff, but dust cap is basically a necessity out here. I always got Lucky Chuck with me. Lucky Chuck, my Chuckawalla arm charm. He grants me extra desert toughness. And yes, that's a mummified Chuckawalla arm. Rear leg, actually, to be more precise. One thing, I always have a little carabiner, just a normal Petzl, you know, non-locking. They're just useful for everything. I mean, I try and carry climbing rated stuff, but you know, I didn't bring any rope or anything, but they're handy for clipping stuff. This bag has a lot of options for that. I mean, you can cram stuff in. There's like this little spacer pocket in the back. You know, I guess if you got a waterproof case or something, maps would go in there. But otherwise, condensation from the bladder or your back sweat's gonna ruin any paper in there. I know, I've done it. It's got this clip you open up, 2 little side zippers to access the bladder, and in a pinch, oh, there goes Lucky Chuck. Like I've put, you know, like a little sleeping roll. You can kind of extend that out a little bit, and you can make stuff work with this pack. I never used the modular adapter systems, but you know, you got that too. There's a little side pocket. If I'm doing a little bit more of a trek, I'll just stick a Sawyer squeeze water filter in there. Today it was just, you know, I was on bike, I could have walked it, but tried to get some extra. It's probably maybe not even a mile, so I wasn't gonna burn through 3 liters of water on that. But this is where I keep kind of my, I'm gonna go ahead and put this headset on so I can use both my hands here. Kind of medical stuff. Sunscreen, you know, always good to have. I'm slowly replacing all my chemical based stuff with the zinc oxides. Man, this stuff is just, what is it? Yeah, avobenzone and all that crap. It's bad stuff. A few little, like a little thing of Kleenex and hand sanitizer, because when you gotta go, and you can't wait. So pack that in a little Ziploc bag. You can see it's got these kind of little mesh pockets, little keychain ring. So that is basically always stays in here. Little medical kit. And this is just a lightweight thing. I keep a little space blanket, some string. Space blanket, yeah, you know, I've never really had to use them for warmth, but if you get in a situation where you're overheating, they're far more valuable for creating a shade in the desert in the heat. It's not too hot today, but you know, if you're not used to it, I think it's like low 80s, but there's a nice breeze. One of these little, this is the 0.3 adventure medical kits. These are pretty common. They're like, I think they make like 0.3, 0.5, 0.7s, or this is the smallest one. But I go through, I modify, I always get a little Bic mini lighter, and then I put a little sewing needle in there, wrap some electrical tape. Some people like duct tape, but obviously tape's super useful. You can use it to bandage, you can use it to fix things. Space is a concern for me, so I took apart a snake bite kit and just have a couple of the items from that. Like, you know, I've never been bit in the wild by a snake, only when you're, you know, like handling them, so chances are pretty low, but you could step on one. You know, it's worth extracting it. It's a little scalpel, little kind of half-assed tourniquet thing, and this is like a little vial of povidone iodine, so that's useful for any kind of like deep cuts, wounds, for cleaning those out. What is it? Oh, this is a benzocaine. This is an insect swab, same kind of ampule type deal. So 20% benzocaine, 1% menthol. You know, tweezers and a safety pin, useful for stuff. And then the rest I'm not going to go through, but your typical, like, some ibuprofens, antihistamines. You never know if someone's going to have an allergic reaction. Gauze, bandages, foot bandages, that kind of deal. Mostly it's fairly standard medical kit with a couple of additions and weight savings modifications. Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's the medical kit. That's it for that, and that basically stays. Unless I need some extra space, this is just constantly in there, so I don't have to think about it. I don't have to constantly repack. Like maybe once a year I'll check the medications for if they're expired, if I rethink some organization there. But that way, bam, as long as my pack's got water, you know, it's at least kind of good to go. A couple snacks, you know, I'm a muncher. I was biking, so put everything in my pack. I already put my keys and wallet in the truck, but I like Leathermans as opposed to pocket knives because I end up pulling cactus spines out with the pliers way more than I ever need a knife. This one's a Leatherman Surge. It's pretty good. It's got a serrated knife, which I try and use for general cutting, and then just a normal non-serrated blade that I try and reserve, so it's always a little sharper. Scissors, what's this, a file, and then of course you got your, you know, a couple little scraper awl and flathead screwdrivers, little can opener, and Phillips bit. Pretty good tool. This is one of the more premium Leathermans. I used to carry like a cheaper one, and the difference is there. You spend more, you get more with Leathermans. But yeah, good all-around multi-tool. Pliers are perfect for the desert. Pulling spines, you know, you can, if you use the finesse of those jaws, you can use them kind of like tweezers as well. Chapsticks always, you know, plus. If I'm adventuring by myself, these are handy. Like cell phone service is patchy. This is a GPS device as well as a satellite communicator primarily. So I have it off right now, but if you have it on, you can share your location at like 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute intervals, something like, I don't remember the exact. Basically, the longer the intervals, the longer the battery will last. But people can live track your waypoints. It won't show an exact path, but it'll show every 10 minutes or 20 minutes, however you set it, it will send a ping of that location, and someone with your URL can track that. You pop this, turn it on, pop the SOS cap, and press the SOS button if you're in a real pickle. Turn yourself into a pickle, and then you hit that button, and that's like, you know, search and rescue. The cavalry comes out and all that. But there's an app for your phone. There is a way, I think, to actually go through the, as you can see, this isn't a good touchscreen interface. There's like 5 buttons on here, but you could send a text through this, or if you have your cell phone, you open the app and you can send text messages. You know, the device, I don't even remember, it was like $200 or $300 that you pay for the device, and then you pay a monthly subscription, which you get a certain amount of texts that you can send, customized texts, and then like a certain amount or unlimited of a message that says doing okay, like a check-in message. So this does not operate off of the cell network. It operates off of a satellite communication. So it will operate in most areas that have a fairly clear line of sight to the sky, not off of cell phone service. So areas like out here, you know, little sparse on the cell coverage, but you can get communications out that way. So on this, this was a walkable distance, so I didn't carry any bike tools with me, but that is basically set up. This is good for, you know, a standard day pack. Put some ice water in there. Got 3 liters. You know, for light activity, unless you got to refill or need more water, and or like you're racing or something. But this is good for casual to mid-range day stuff where you're not doing anything super strenuous. Decent as a bike pack. Just general all around. I've tested the limits on this, like I said, like I've done overnight trips and stuff, and that's definitely pushing the limits on it. But overall, this is by far my favorite pack out of any that I've owned. Fabric, incredibly durable. Like I said, it looks a little worn, but you would not believe the abuse that I've put this thing through. So there it is. GoPro, stop recording.